right? He has the ball, and he's like, all right, we're gonna play. If the ball hits the wall twice, it's out. Which I don't know why that makes sense, because, like, it goes out, so he has to, like, hit it against the wall twice and it gets this out. But that's how he was playing. So he's going right, and I'm, like, against the wall, like, trying to block. I'm kind of scared. And he comes, and he throws the ball really hard, like a bowling. Like, and I'm like, I don't know where it is. It goes behind me, and it hits the wall, and I can hear it, and I'm like, oh crap. And it hits me in the back, and I'm like, get pushed forward. And he comes around me, shoves me to the side, grabs it, dunks. The ball comes, hits me in the foot, and I'm like, and it's because, he dunked it super hard. And then he, like, grabs the ball, and he's like, and he's, like, running to the side like that, and he's, like, shoving kids to the side. He's like, let's do another game. And it's, like, super crazy.
I'm super bummed I didn't come with this.
I know.
No, Dad,
That was hilarious. I would just be like,
yeah.
You should have joined.
So, Hawken, tell me the story about when he was gonna dribble through your legs.
Oh yeah, so he was like, everyone was dribbling like through your legs because it was cool and stuff. And when the coach tried to do it, he like ran at me. He threw it like harder, like at the ground, like straight. But then it hit me in the nuts. I fell to the ground and I like bounced to the other side. Yeah, this ball is coming so fast. It's like, and then it's like, boom. And then he like, I don't know what happened after that. I kind of just went to the side.
you just blacked out.
No, I just kind of walked to the side and sat down.
What do you say about WWE or something?
He was like, do you watch WWE? And I was like, no, I watch Centaur World.
And what do you say to that?
He was like, I watch anime. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
He was like, I've watched more anime than all of you guys combined. And I was like, okay. Don't know what that has to do with wrestling,
but
but...
still hurt.
Oh yeah, and he was like, okay, everyone, we gotta practice like super hard because we're gonna verse a bunch of these guys and they're super good.
Just
I was
like
like,
me.
okay, and then he was like talking about how we were all trash and we needed to get better because we weren't good and we needed to be like him. Like, he was like our idol. We had to like get as good as he was, and he was
in
like
30 days.
yeah. In less than 30 days. On December 30th was our due date. That's when we had to actually play. And he was, like, real confusing. And I was telling him, like, what if I don't want to play basketball? Like, because he was, like, talking about how, like, that's going to be our future. And, like, we're going to be famous. And we're going to be pro basketball players.
We were like,
We're going to be making, like, millions a year. And it's, like,
we do coding.
we're talking about, like, money-wise. I'm playing Mario Kart. Like, I don't want to make monies. And
we were like, we code websites.
and then he was like, all right, then what do you do for a living? And I was like, I don't have a job. And he's like, well, you know what I do for a living? I lift weights. And he was like talking about how he can like bench press like 100 pounds.
And he says something about like if you lift like 1,000 weights or something, you get
money.
paid to lift weights.
I really don't know what was
I
happening.
didn't understand.
But then
that
he
part.
was like,
He
well,
was
what
like,
do
yep,
you do?
I get paid to
And he's
lift
like, well, what are
weights.
one
And I
of
was
your
like,
hobbies? And I was like, I code websites. And he's like, oh, I coded a website once. It was super high tech. It was one of those champion websites. And I don't know what a champion website is, but it's probably something weird. And then he was like, I got paid so much for my dad's company. I was like, oh, your dad codes? And he was like, no. And I was like, but you made a website for him, right? And he's like, yeah. Let's go play a game. And he like grabbed the ball and started dribbling, like making shots. It was super weird.
like he just ended lots of conversations. We were like just talking about something completely off
Who
topic.
decided he was the coach?
No
I don't
one. He
know.
just walked in
I don't
with the
even
ball
know
and
that
was
guy.
like,
He doesn't
alright
go to
kids, this is
church."
what we're gonna do. And everyone's like, hey, Nikki, what's up? And, like dabbing him up. I don't even know what was happening.
What? Tell me when you were supposed to block him and you were under the net.
Oh, okay. So,
Wait, didn't
the guy
Oh
thought...
wait, you wanna?
So the coach was like, well, Max, you're not very good at this game, clearly, so I want you to try to block me so I can show you what you're up against. And I'm like, okay. So, he's like, all right, I'm going to start over here. You start over there. You try to block me, okay? I'm like, all right. And he's like, I'm going to go extra hard on you so you know what you're up against. I was like, okay. So I'm blocking, right? And I'm kind of scared because this guy is like beefy. The ball, he's dribbling under the legs, over the legs, like behind his back, over the head. It's like crazy, like throwing the ball, dribbling. And I'm not even like blocking him, so I don't know why he's doing this. And he's like just showing off, and he comes up and he's like halfway through the cart and he's like, come get the ball from me. And I was like, okay, do. And I run at him, right? And he's dribbling the ball, and the ball comes right up, and I swat at it, and the ball comes down and hits my hand, so I'm like tumbling over, and then he like grabs the ball, he like goes to one side, throws it to the other side, and I like turn to watch the ball, and I turn around, and he's like charging me, and he like shoves me to the side, and I'm like, whoa, and then he's like grabbing the ball, and he goes, and he's like, all right, come over here, and I'm like, okay, so I walk over to him, and he's right next to the net. He's like, all right, I'm going to try to dunk. And it's like a 10-foot hoop. I can't reach that. So, he's just like, trying to block me. And I'm like, okay. So, like, I swat at the ball. He's holding it against his chest, like, right here. I'm, like, hitting it. And he's just holding it right there. Boom, 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 boom. And he's, like, not doing anything. He's like, get the ball from me. And I'm like, you, like, can bench press 500 pounds and you're holding a ball that weighs nothing at your chest. I can't move that. I'm, like, slapping it. I'm, like, kicking it. I'm, like, kneeing it. I'm, like, trying to yank it from his hand. It's not doing anything. He's like, all right, just try to block my dunk. And he's like, I'm like, okay. So he jumps, right? And he's, like, anime style, like, and I'm like, oh, crap. So, like, I can't get the ball, so I just, like, jump to show that I'm trying. And I, like, jump, and I reach for the ball. And then he dunks it. Boosh! Like 100 miles an hour going down the net, and I'm right under the net. And so, poof, on the face. And then I'm like dazed, and the ball goes flying. I don't even know where it is anymore. And he goes through a group of kids, and he's like, ooh, ooh, yeah. He's like walking through a bunch of kids, like doing that. Super weird. And I'm kind of freaked out, and he's like just going in circles. He's like, yeah, let's play another game. And I'm like, no, thank you. So, it's pretty crazy.
Tell me what you told me when you first got down here about Slurpees.
Wait, what?
Slurpees.
Oh, yeah.
Slurpees.
So I came back and Mom was like, how are the Slurpees? And I was like, we didn't get Slurpees. So we played basketball and now I'm on a team.
Dang it.
Why is that so funny?
Because of the way you said it. When you first came down, you're like, so we didn't get Slurpees. We had to play basketball. Now I'm on a team.
Out of the fire into the fire.
Yeah, at least we won't be here when the game happens.
That's true.
We're those
Your
two
coach
crap
might-
people. We don't
your-
need them.
Your coach might look you up and
Oh my
scold
gosh.
you.
Where you guys at?
I'm fun all one right now.
I know your nuts aren't hurt now.
But I'm gonna make them hurt.
Bam! Shot?
No? What?
Wasn't he yelling, make the shot, make the shot?
Oh, yeah. And then I
You say
tried and he, like, slapped it into my face. He was like, "Ah." And then he slapped it back. He, like, slapped the ball kind of to the side and then the hand to the face.
Oh yeah, and then I was on his team, and so he was like, "All right, go to the end. I'll pass you the ball, and you make the shot, okay?" I'm like, "All right." So I'm running, right? I'm right next to the hoop, and I can make the shot. And he's like, "Maddox!" Poof! It was like a missile. Like I can hear it whistling as it's coming at me. It's not spinning; it's just like a brick coming at me, and I'm like freaking out. So I put one hand up. And it smacks it, and it like breaks my wrist. It like is stuck. I'm like, ah, and like my hand is hurt, so it like is all jacked up. So I'm not using that. And then you're like, grab the ball, and I'm like, okay. So I grab the ball with one hand. I'm like dribbling, and I'm like getting back to the hoop because it like went flying. And then he's like, make the shot, and he's like grabbing all the kids and like squishing them together, and I'm like, okay. So I go up to the shot, and I go, and some
isn't real basketball.
yeah, and he like went, and some like taller kid was like, oh yeah, and like smacked it in like my other wrist is hurt, and like both my wrists
He
are hurt.
wasn't really holding them, but he had like a full cage. Like
Of
there was a
kids.
little opening, like where they could squeeze out, but he was just like,
He was like,
Nice.
and everyone was like, foul, foul, and he's like, this isn't real basketball. There are no fouls, and it was like super crazy. It was a little scary.
So did you make the shot?
No.
No one.
Did you hear? I just got slapped out of my face.